Extremely urgent. There's the two words I used with our guys as we came into this tournament was focus and urgency. And our guys are focused. I do think they have the urgency to not, wait. Learning from like Trevin and Richie and Dallin, who they felt like last year in their first round game, they kind of waited around. So we used that a lot going into the VCU game, stuck with it for the Wisconsin game, and then clearly are bringing that here as well.
I overheard you mentioning it a little bit just now. It seems like when looking at you guys in Alabama by the numbers, does it ever feel like you're looking in a mirror when you're kind of looking, like scouting them and breaking them down, that kind of thing?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think our end goals are similar. I think the style of play is a little different given, how we generate those things. But if you're just looking at raw metrics and data, there are going to be a lot of similarities. Which, I think I've posed a question to our group. Well, if we regard, what have teams done against us that have slowed us down, and might we dig into some of that for this game plan?
Coach Oates was talking the other day about how he took a decent amount from Monty from his time with the Suns, and I think he got to know you a little bit when you were down there in Phoenix. Are there kind of some similarities in that offense? Do you think that you can?
Yeah.
I won't ask you if you can
No.
them, but I mean, are there maybe some similarities there?
Yeah. So actually, I was kind of the one who spent the most time with Nate when he came out. It was funny being able to spend time with him, and then you fast forward a couple years. Now we're playing against each other in the Sweet 16. So I mean, Nate's a smart guy, man. It's not just us. He studies a lot of the NBA. I know he makes the rounds for training camps and things like that. He's got a couple guys on his staff that have pro backgrounds who I know as well. So, they're well coached. Their whole group does a good job, and I do think because of some of the similar backgrounds of our staffs and me and him in particular, there are a lot of those similarities.
You're 16-4 since Mawad has been the starter, and inserting him in Oklahoma State. Last 5 games, he's had 5 fouls. Defensively, what has he just meant this entire season to your staff?
Yeah, he's been. I think he's just been a tone setter. He's been a guy that gives us some physicality, some tenacity out there, and it's been great too because when he goes out, we bring Trey in, who kind of does similar things, and so we feel like that's been a good kind of 1-2 punch for us.
At the beginning of the season, Dallin was a lot of pressure was on him to run the offense along with Igor. How has he done in the tournament? 21 assists, 4 turnovers in the past couple of games.
Nah, he's been great, man. He's been super rock solid. It's the luxury to be able to, have 2 guys that you can trust with the ball. I think Yegor's actually done a much better job, since the Big 12 tournament of taking the right shots, number 1, having a little bit more ball security, number 2. And then, Dallin comes in and steadies the ship even more for us. And then there's times where teams try to, pressure us, and I'm able to have both. We're able to have both those guys out there. I think that's helped us.
Kevin, you've kind of told these guys they belong. You've preached that all season. They're a good team. Do you think that's resonating right now? Really, the same message?
I think so. I mean, you make it. I mean, you're one of 16 teams left. So I think whether they believe me or not, I think they believe it now because we're here. But that part for me has been rewarding. Just in terms of getting a group to buy into what I'm preaching to them every day, and then seeing the belief in each other and themselves. That's been super rewarding.
Using experience, I think some players have mentioned about the time you guys, when you're in time in the NBA, you were up 2-0 in the finals, about not getting complacent and comfortable. How has that resonated with the guys? Because it seems like ever since you told that story, they've been more locked in.
Yeah. I mean, I just can only go on my own personal experiences, when I'm thinking through like things I can share with our players. So, that was, I'll never forget that. Yeah, I mean, getting up 2-0 and then not winning the finals is about as hard as it gets, honestly. And so I just tried to share that with them in terms of what I noticed in that season in terms of why we did that and just try to get ahead of it. And it was cool to hear the guys. I heard some of them kind of, regurgitating that. As a coach, when you hear guys kind of saying the same thing you're saying, you feel like it's getting through to them.